When it comes to this sport, the undisputed champs, and we refuse to have our reign cut short. The crest on our chest we wear with pride. 5-star generals, ain't no new recruits on this side. But we know the postseason ain't all about what we've accomplished before. We're ready to get put to the test, to prove we the best, as we continue our quest for more. More wins, more haters, from old rivals to new neighbors. All that talk is just fuel for the fire that inspires us to be greater. Greatest of all time, it's facts. Just check the stats. 18 times to the playoffs, and this year we fought our way back. Led by a lion and a legacy of legends, we lead the league in trophies, the best ever, no question. But we ain't done. We got too much talent, hungry and young. Here since 96, but our journey to championship number 6 has just begun. So where y'all at? We the type of fans that never fold. Galaxians, Riot Squad, ACB. We give our all for the white, the blue, and gold. Who can stop us? There's nobody that can stand in our way. We are the galaxy. This is our time. This is our city. We are LA. Let's go!
This is the Riot Squadcast, a supporter-driven show dedicated to LA Galaxy news, information, and opinions. Here's your hosts, Ed Rodriguez and Chris Zero Cool Tucker.
Welcome to the Riot Squadcast. My name is Ed Rodriguez, and we are here live on a beautiful Wednesday night in Gardena, California. First off, I want to say amazing job by the LA Galaxy and Mers with that hype-up video. Just in time.
It got me pumped.
Just in time for this weekend's game. And that, of course, amazing voice you're hearing is the one, the only, my best friend in the world, Chris.
We don't watch that anymore.
Zero Cool. We don't know?
No more WWF is done.
Well,
WWE, whatever.
Speaking of AEW, best friends, right?
AEW.
We'll come out holding hands and...
Nah, can't do it anymore. Hey, it's 2019, everybody. Whatever you want to do, but don't touch
look
me.
at each other, just give each other like a just giant hug.
A bear hug where we stare each other in the eyes. I'm all right, man. How are you doing?
I know, we're both still suffering from these coughs, so...
I've been sick for like
So you did
a
give
year
AIDS.
and a half.
Bear with us. What'd you say, Ben?
You did give AIDS.
More like the, what is it, mono? We made out a little bit.
I have a cold. I don't know what the fuck you two have.
Yeah, sure. Just a cold.
Yeah.
Tuck, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with it.
Me and
Nothing wrong
Chris
with
were
it.
playing tongue twister. It's fine, guys. It's
No,
no
man.
judgments because it's 2019.
I've been sick forever. I just need it to end. I need it all to be over.
You used to get sick all the time. You used to have like a really bad immune system.
Well, I was not taking care of myself back then. And I don't really take care of myself now, but Erica takes really good care of me. But this school semester is just like, I just keep working until I fall asleep. That's pretty much my life.
Just work until you die. Sorry, he's coughing.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to hit my mute button a whole lot because I got to cough a lot.
Yeah, so if you hear like these weird like pregnant pauses, like that's the reason why. It's either I'm coughing or Christopher's coughing.
Yeah. I promise if I come back next week, I should be healthy by then, I think. That seems right.
I've had this cough for like 3 months. I don't know, man.
Well, one of my classes is over now. My geography class is done. So I'm hoping I have some more time to sleep, which I imagine will kind of bring my health back. This is no guarantee.
That's what they say, right? Liquids and sleep, rest.
Yeah, sleep, rest, and weed, man. Fucking, that's all you need. And rewatching The Big Lebowski over and over again. That's all I need. It'll help me get healthy.
Oh man, you're watching like that Explained show, right? I've heard a lot of people watching that.
Yeah, Explained. There's an episode on weed in Explained, and it's very insightful, and it's kind of helped me. It's kind of helped me explore more into the educational side of marijuana. Like, I get to learn about it a little bit.
Isn't there like a Explained about like the brain?
I don't know. I haven't seen that one yet. I watched one on extraterrestrial life forms and cults, and
I dig that
I think
shit,
that's
man.
it.
So, Tuck, did you learn anything in the explain about weed? That's my question. I mean, like, I kind of figured that it'd be interesting to you.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I don't think
fascinating.
you learn anything.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is when Chris came in here, he was like, "I know this is hard to believe, but I'm really getting into weed, guys."
I'm
And
getting
like,
into
know.
and me and Ben just look at each other like, "Wait, what bizarre world did we like walk into?"
Yeah,
But
what is getting into? Like,
but not like ingesting. I mean, I'm into ingesting marijuana. That's always great. But like I'm getting into learning more about the growing side and the history of it and kind of its history in our culture and important moments in history and shit like that. Like that's kind of what I'm getting into.
so then, important moments in history, in weed history.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I haven't learned anything about it yet. Like I'm getting, I'm progressing.
Like
progressing
who
through. I don't really have
Who
time.
rolled the first joint?
Jesus, man. That's the most Stones laugh I've ever had. No, I don't know. I mean, whoever found it first. Who was the dude in the Bible that like set a bush on fire and started talking to God?
Moses?
That guy. I mean, it was joint free. He had a lot and he just lit it all on fire.
That thing where you like waft the air into your face, like,
Hot boxed a mountainside.
oh, this bush is talking to me, man.
Bush is fucking telling me all the secrets of
It's telling me
all
I
time.
should chop my son in half, and
That was more than just weed. Yeah.
that was the cocaine tree. Or its scientific name, Giovanni dos Santos.
It's terrible. We're never going to get that press pass.
Do we even care at this point?
No, I'm pretty sure that sailed with the big controversy.
With our
this
most
year.
recent one?
Hour.
Yeah, that's all you've been.
But yeah, I want to learn more about it. If you know like some interesting facts about marijuana, you could teach me. Zero Cool 138, man. I will fucking learn some shit.
Hashtag weed facts.
Weed facts is dead. I do have a hashtag Halflings Leaf, which is like random thoughts I've had, and it goes back like 3 years. Random thoughts I've had smoking weed. I'm gonna find one. You keep talking.
Oh yeah, we gotta. That give me like a segment like, what's Chris's random weed thought of the week?
Weed thoughts of the week.
And then we'll get a theme song like, weed thoughts of the week.
It's just
No,
gonna,
it would have to be something more mellow, don't you think? Like,
I am an indica guy. Like all things being equal, I'd prefer an indica.
Yeah,
I'm
it'd
always
be like,
looking to take a
like
nap.
some sort of like mellow, like harpy music. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
like,
not harpy.
like at the beginning of The Simpsons, like
Yeah.
something like that. It's like weed thoughts.
What is this?
Of the
Hang on.
week. Oh, wait, he's looking at his phone right now.
Well, I see one where I'm talking to Josh, and I just randomly say, I pipe in the soundtrack to Backdraft, the greatest movie of all time.
Which is definitely a high thought
That
because
is definitely weed thoughts.
no one thinks Backdraft is the greatest
Yeah.
movie of all time.
I don't know.
That's obviously Backdraft 2 with John Cena.
Okay, this one sounds kind of weird, but if you flesh the whole thought out, it's pretty accurate. The ending of a Goofy movie is greater than the ending of the Godfather series. But if you think about it, Godfather ends on Godfather 3, and that movie's not good, and the ending of that movie is not good. The ending of Goofy movie at least makes sense. You get a dance sequence with Tevin Campbell, which is all I've ever wanted.
So, speaking of that, kids are really getting into the Goofy movie. It's
Yeah.
like back in...
Some of us have been into it for a while.
I know, these fucking lame-ass
wave kids.
posers thinking the Goofy movie was like something... These kids weren't even born when the Goofy movie was
shit.
out.
There's the tweet. I found a tweet from when I discovered BTS.
Uh-oh.
October 29th, 2016.
Oh, that should be celebrated as a holiday for you, man.
Yeah, fucking I got time for that. It's coming up, right? It's
should
13 days.
It should be. Benjamin, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I want to hear the BTS tweet though.
Oh, no, that's it. I'm like, I just discovered a Korean boy band named BTS. But that's the whole
And
point
that's
of
it. That was
That's
the whole
it.
tweet.
Yeah. Because it was like 2 a.m. and I was stoned and everybody else was asleep. And I was like, South Korean boy band. Fucking BTS, man.
How many comments did you get on that? I mean, like how many replies?
None, but it's
That's
for me.
surprising.
Like it's not. That's the thing. It's not really something that I want commented on. It's more like a public journal. So every now and again, I can just like search Halfling's Leaf and look up like, oh shit, that's right. Ghostbusters 2 doesn't hold up, or whatever I was thinking about, and it doesn't. Ghostbusters 2 is terrible.
They're rebooting it.
Well, they're not rebooting it. They're making a third one.
Is it going to be a continuation? I thought it was
It's
a reboot.
I think it's a continuation of 1 and 2.
It's a continuation, but it's like they're going to bring in a new generation of people.
So it's like a continuation, but a reboot.
Kinda. It's more of like the next phase of Ghostbusters, like phase 2 of Ghostbusters, 30 years later.
So what would be another way of saying that?
It's not a reboot.
It's kind of a reboot.
It's not a reboot.
It's a different phase of the. It's like a second chapter. How's that a reboot?
But it's
I
that
see
would be
what
like
you're saying.
calling the new Star Wars movie the reboot. Like they're a different trilogy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right? Am I
I
getting that
stand
right?
corrected. You're
Dumbass bitch.
Wouldn't it
wait.
be?
I was wrong.
Wouldn't it be fucked up if NASA held a press conference tomorrow and was like, "We found a sentient creature roughly 4 times the size of the sun in a random celestial." Like, what would you do if you turned on the news and NASA was like, "We basically found Ego, the living planet, but it's in, the Horseshoe Nebula," and they're like, "We know it's out there. It can't get here. It's never going to be able to travel here. It's never going to interact with you in your lifetime. But like, there is a live sentient planet way the fuck out there."
I get anxiety thinking about space as it is.
Yeah, space is.
Really?
Yeah.
And you don't smoke weed?
No.
You probably should.
It just freaks me
Everybody
out,
should.
the vastness of space. And then
Yeah.
I think about it, and then I think how insignificant and tiny we are, and then it just makes me kind of...
Tucker,
lot
give him
of
a
anxiety.
hug.
No, he's right. Like your life is meaningless.
Yes.
And
Your
now,
life
I'm
is
and now I'm
absolutely
taking an
meaningless.
astronomy class, and it's like
Mhm.
only furthering my anxiety, which is great.
I've taken astronomy before, and what's always fucked up is like not only is your life insignificant and meaningless, you can die very quickly from any number of things that we've like observed over the universe. All these different actions where they're like, your planet could just be gone tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that's it. So it's like, why do you get all worried about shit for? This is why I don't stress about things anymore. It doesn't matter. One of these days, relatively soon, I'll be dead, and school will be over, and work will be over, and everything will be fine. That's why everything's good. That's why everything's good all the time. You don't have to worry about it.
Happy show. Like and share us, guys.
I know. Thank you guys.
We're all going to be dead soon.
Yeah, your life is meaningless, man. Like
Yes.
if you're lucky, you're gonna be on the planet 90 years. For like 20 of them, you're gonna be shitting yourself.
Yeah, I would say, is that lucky? 90
For
years?
20 of them,
Come
you're
on.
gonna be shitting yourselves. For the first 2 of them, you were shitting yourself. Like your life is gonna be bookended by somebody having to wipe your ass for you, and the sun is billions of years old. Like get over yourself. Whatever your problem is, it's no fucking big deal, man. Like just have a good time.
Well, I think Dan Harmon had like this one saying where he's like, "You're insignificant. You're gonna die someday.
Mhm.
So every day, every minute of your life is a meaningful day and a meaningful minute."
Yeah. But that's also where you're like, how much time am I going to waste on stupid shit? Because I've got this finite amount of time, and then I'm going to be gone. And once you're gone, people are going to remember you for like 2 generations, and then no one will ever give a shit about the fact that you were
Here,
here.
I got the quote. "The knowledge that nothing matters, while accurate, gets you nowhere. The planet is dying. The sun is exploding.
Mm-hmm.
The universe is cooling. Nothing's going to matter. The further back you pull, the more that truth will endure. But when you zoom in on Earth, when you zoom into the family, when you zoom in on a human brain and a child and an experience, you see all things that matter."
Mhm.
So it's like everything matters and doesn't matter.
Yeah, my children matter. That's it. And really they matter to me. They don't matter to nobody else. Actually, gives a shit about my kids. I don't think. Like I assume they're like, oh, I hope well things for them. I hope good things for them. But really, they're my kids. That's it's not a big deal. Not even is the planet's dying, the sun's going to explode. Our galaxy is on a crash course with the nearest galaxy to us. So even if you go out further than just our solar system, it's still going to get all fucked up.
Not true.
What do you mean, really?
They're spreading apart. They're not coming together.
No, all the galaxies are spreading apart, but Andromeda and the Milky Way galaxy are on a collision course with each other. So they're going to smash into each other, and they'll keep spinning out. But eventually they're fucking smacking into each other. What?
You know what does matter, Ben, is Lars news.
Boom.
This is Lars News. It's not real news.
This is the best opening we've ever had.
This is just Lars News about stuff and things we want to talk about. Lars News. This is Lars News.
Yeah, we got nothing.
So the galaxy's it.
Now, so viewing parties will be posted up later, I believe tomorrow.
Yeah, I think they're doing one at the stadium.
The Galaxy's doing one at the stadium. That they're pushing that one.
Mm-hmm.
But the viewing parties for the set up by the supporters groups all over Southern California, Vegas, There's even like down in San Diego. There's going to be a bunch of people going to Minnesota this weekend, so they might be a little lighter than usual because all the hardcore people going out there. Anyways, but yes, viewing parties will be posted up on the Angel City Brigade and Lars' social medias. Watch out for those. But if you do want to go to the Galaxy one, it's going to be at the Legends Plaza, I believe is what they call it. Legends Plaza.
Legends Plaza, yeah.
So yeah, go do that.
Where the statue's at?
Yeah.
Right out in front. Very nice.
So go hang out with your fellow supporters, because it might be the last game of the season. So you might want to enjoy this one until like 5 months from now when the season starts back up again. But yes.
Yeah, be positive. It's gonna be fun.
I said possibly. I'm not saying it's definitely happening. It might happen.
Seems a bit negative.
You
A little a skosh. Skosh negative.
Skosh negative. No, I'm not negative, man. I'm actually okay. I'm kind of negative.
Very segue you right into
Minnesota United away.
Sunday, 5:30.
Sunday.
The Lord's Day.
Yes.
God's team on the Lord's Day, Ed.
Kobe Jones is Lord and Savior.
Whatever deity you're into. I personally pray
all
to
your
Alan
false
Gordon.
gods.
Yeah.
All bow down to Kobe Jones, the one true.
The one true God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, it's Sunday. Minnesota away. You have 200 traveling fans.
I know.
Not all of them going on Spirit Airlines.
I don't know what happened because I heard Minnesota was only giving them like 160 something tickets, but like the Galaxy had already kind of taken information for like 200 people. So I wonder. I mean, I'm sure it got worked out, but I wonder what happened with that. I never heard anything after that.
I have the weather report. Do you want the weather report?
Holy shit!
It was in doubts that it was going to be kind of shitty weather there, like heavy rains. But Sunday, mostly cloudy, 61 degrees high, 48 degrees low, 10% chance of precipitations, 61% humidity.
Oh, jeez.
The winds will be coming in the southeast, 11 miles an hour, so it's not that bad. That is your Sunday weather report here on the Riot Squadcast.
Can you do this for every game?
No, I really don't want to do that.
It'd be easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 minutes. Yeah. It's a nice little Ed segment.
The weather. That's what people want to listen to on the podcast. Is the weather.
The weather brought to you by Ed.
The weather brought to you
The
by
weather for future days.
Yeah.
The weather
that might change.
It doesn't immediately affect them.
That might change in like 2 days, anyways. What are you guys thinking? Are you guys feeling positive about this game? Have we heard anything about Joe Corona and his boot that he was wearing?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything from that. He's not listed in our injury report that I saw. The only one I saw listed for our injury report was Kitchen and Alessandrini. So I'm at least he's not. They haven't notified MLS that he's out officially. I guess they haven't had to yet.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of shitty thing about MLS is they really don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like they literally can wait till like the game and be like, yeah, he's injured, he's not playing, or like the day before.
Which I'm fine with.
Competitive advantage. They don't want you to know that Perry Kitchen, who's been out for 4 months, is not going to be here again. It's fine.
There's a chance.
Hey guys, there's a chance.
All you need is a chance.
There's a possibility. So what you're saying is there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm fucking hopeful. I'm pretty positive. We've never lost to Minnesota, home or away. A lot of draws in there, but we never actually lost them. Never managed to get it done. And we've beaten them. Maybe we'll have Alessandrini back, and maybe he's on the bench, and we can see some positivity out of that. But overall, I don't know. I might just be stoned, but I think it's going to work out.
Yeah, I think he might be a little high.
Yeah, I'm pessimistic.
Of course you are. You're negative, man. Both of you are negative.
Here's the thing. It's easy to be pessimistic because say the Galaxy do lose, you'd be like, see, I told you guys.
Yeah.
But if they win, you'd be like, yeah, see, I didn't see that coming. That's
hey, cool, they won.
Everybody wins.
Low expectations, man.
Keep
Low
them down.
expectations.
Well, and
you can't get hurt, Chris. You can't get hurt.
You can't open yourself up like that.
Man.
You've been hurt before.
Many times.
But you got to open yourself up to potentially getting hurt again. That's the only way you find love. It's the only way you make it through.
I don't know if I can do it, man.
I'm here for you, soul sister.
Okay. I need Ed to get his groove back.
George, with braids and everything, and like a large black man behind him. I don't know. I can see why people would be down. the loss to Houston, the loss to Vancouver, you can understand why, people would be pessimistic. And I'm seeing a lot of people, like, just on the social medias, on the tweeters, I'm seeing negativity starting to get ramped up. Like, people are getting anxious.
I mean, but you can see why, though, right?
Well, it's been a while, and we certainly limped to the end of the season. It wasn't a big triumphant ending like we all kind of hoped would happen. We didn't get Alessandrini back during the regular season to play some minutes, which I think would make a lot more people feel a lot more comfortable going into the postseason. But we do seem to show up for the bigger games. We seem to show up for the ones where attention's going to be played.
Yeah, like you had. I mean, I think it's reasonable to think that, or why people were so negative going into this game. You had the back-to-back losses against the two worst teams in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
You had Joe Corona injured in that game, and like all MLS things in Galaxy, you never get any straight answers on the severity of that injury. You have not the best away record.
We're horrible away.
Yeah. Even though it is Minnesota. But I think we still have this mentality with Minnesota that they're this like shit little team. They're actually pretty good. They're pretty decent. I can see us either getting a big result, like say Zlatan just pulls his team on his back and is like, we're gonna go, or I could just see it continuing from the last two games of the season and just getting steamrolled because our defense is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as convinced that it has to be Zlatan by himself. I think Christian Pavone's got 8-10 goal scoring contributions since he came on. Like, you're seeing some of the people start to click and start to gel. And I do agree, like, the conclusion of the season makes it really easy to be pessimistic, if not negative necessarily. It makes it easy to be pessimistic and to look at it as a glass half full. No matter how well Zlatan could score 3 goals, we still might lose the game because our back line could be good for 4 goals in any game. They're not necessarily this unit. There's still questions on who people want. I don't know why you don't mute your mic before you move.
I did. That's on your mic.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Ben and his shiesty ass fucking operation he has going on here.
Got 9 mute buttons. No WD-40. But I mean, you're still having people call for the rookie to play at right back over the obvious starting right back. Like, it's defensively, there's these question marks, and these question marks haven't been addressed in any concrete way. We don't know whether Pipo Gonzalez is going to start. There's all these questionable calls, and you don't really know how it's going to fall. And like, if the back line plays a good game, if they're however possible, and I don't really know how that would work at this stage, but if somehow they played a great game and were able to get a clean sheet away or only give up 1 goal away, we should be able to win that game. But just as hopeful as you are that they only give up 1 goal, they're probably more likely to give up 2 or 3.
If this team gives up only 1 goal, no way in hell we don't come out of there.
We should win that game. We should if they can keep Minnesota to 1 goal, we should win that game. But do you honestly think they probably will?
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance they will.
No.
But I don't know. My biggest fear is the fact that every time we get our hopes up, we just get let down. And realistically, Tuck, like you said, I mean, this game is a game that we probably should win.
We probably should win, yeah.
So, I mean, kind of got my hopes up, but I'm thinking every time we do that, the Colorado games,
the game we should win,
the New England game, the last 2 games of the season,
the game against fucking Vancouver.
Yeah.
But what gets your hopes up?
What gets my hopes up is looking. If you just look at the matchups,
mm-hmm.
we should win this game.
But I think that's his point of saying that the games we should win, we haven't been able to. Absolutely.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot where I can see someone saying, "Look, we're going to win, nailed on." I don't really know how you get to we're nailed on, but I believe we're going to win. I think we're going to be able to get over the line. Probably not going to be pretty. Probably not going to be some 3-0 drubbing or 4-0 with pretty sexy soccer or any of that. But maybe 3-2 we can get it done, or 2-1, something dirty. I can see someone assuming we're going to win, and I can see honestly, I can see the pessimistic side of Steris pull into, Felcher and Romney or Shelvick or whoever it is, and questionable Bingham, like, they're going to be good for 2, they're going to be good for 3. We may not be able to match that, and that's what's going to eliminate us. Not necessarily that the whole team plays poorly or, Scilotto's tactics don't really work, but just defensively we're good for 2 or 3, and it's really, really hard to overcome. I can see both of those arguments easily. I don't know. I'm at a struggle for picking who I think is realistically going to win because all the options seem open.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm kind of the same way. Is that you could see everything, so it's hard to pick who's going to win, because exactly what you said. You could see the Galaxy go in there and blow this team out, but you could also very easily see Quintero just destroy us.
Yeah, and attacking wise, the Galaxy should be able to blow them out. But as you say, we should have been able to blow Vancouver out. We should have been able to blow Houston out. It's the totality of the game. It's the complete match from front to back. It's the complete 90. And that's not quite what we've been able to put together. But having watched us this season, they're capable of it. They're capable of it against better opposition. You saw a complete 90 game against LAFC away, or not away, but at home. You see, there are these matches that it's possible. It's just a matter of whether it's something we accomplish. Even Minnesota away earlier this year was tactical adjustments, full 90 match. I think it was 3-1. Like it's there. It's just a matter of whether it's something that can be accomplished. I assume that backline is going to work on communication for this entire break. I assume the dialogue coming out of the coaching staff and the leadership is you guys above everything else, above goal scoring, above Pavon and Zlatan working out. Like, you guys have to get your shit together, and you have to get it together now, because if it's not, Romney's gone, Steris is probably gone, Felcher is probably gone, like Bingham might be gone. If you guys don't get it together for this one match on Sunday, this may be your last opportunity together, because this is probably it for at least half of you.
I would say definitely. It is definitely the last match. If they lose, it's the last match that group plays together. A significant part of them, at least. Like you talk, I think it's going to be at least 6 people gone. That are that
from
have
the
been
whole roster.
Yeah, that have been well, not just the whole roster, but that have made significant contributions. Guys like Pontius, I don't think he's coming back.
I don't know. You keep someone like him. He's relatively low cost.
You like to, but
domestic.
But does he want to stay?
He seems okay with being a bench option. He seems like he likes being here and wants to be here. Especially if you end up losing Uriel, right? You end up losing Uriel for next season, or end up not bringing Fabio back. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm making strides.
You're fine.
I'm making strides.
Uriel's fine.
I think it's fine, but apparently, look.
No, I just like the way you looked at it. Like, Ed, is that okay?
That's cool.
Am I good?
In the room, this is the
I
thing.
gave him the Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, in the room, he's the closest representation I have for Spanish speakers.
Yes.
So I'm gonna default to him in the situation. But we might not bring. We might not bring. I'm just gonna call him Antuna. We might not bring Antuna back. We might not bring Fabio back.
Or you can call him by his proper name is
Antonio.
Carlos. So
Is it really?
yeah.
But see,
Really?
I call Javier Hernandez, and I get called racist, which doesn't make any sense to me either. But
His name is Carlos.
Yeah.
Uriel, my man,
That's fine.
Uriel.
Yeah.
But say we don't bring him back, and we don't bring Fabio back. Pontius looks like he's okay being a bench option, and if Alessandrini's starting, I'm perfectly good with Pontius coming off the bench for Alessandrini. So if it's possible, that's someone you'd want to keep. But I do agree with you. There's probably 5 or 6 guys minimum who, if we get knocked out against Minnesota, aren't coming back. This is their last opportunity to kind of work together and get their shit done. We'll see if they can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think regardless, you're probably going to have 4 or 5 of the guys who've contributed to this team probably not come back next year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they may be looking a little ahead of the next opponent and be like, all right, cool. If we just pass this little hurdle.
I think
Minnesota finished above us, so I would certainly hope they're not.
Yeah, I would think the last 2 games of the season has kind of taken that off the table. You can't look past anybody. I mean, you couldn't look past the last 2.
You can't look past
last
Houston.
teams in the fucking league.
You got no business looking past Minnesota. But again, I hope that's the case. We shouldn't have looked past FC Dallas in 2010, and we still did. They were a dangerous, quick counterattacking team, much like Minnesota is.
Yeah, exactly. And this team has shown time and time again that against a counterattack.
Well, this is where the tactics will need to be adjusted. This is a game, especially based on how the last few weeks have gone. Felcher's got no business going past I keep saying 50-yard line. He's got no business going past the midfield. Sjelvik or Romney has no business going past the midfield. Polenta has no business going past the midfield.
Other than having to change the lineup or the tactics, or forced to, basically, has GBS ever shown that he's willing, much like if you're a U.S. national team fan, much like Berhalter, not very rigid when it comes, or too rigid.
Not very fluid.
Not very fluid when it comes to changing up tactics when needed to cover up your deficiencies in your defense against the special teams like your Houstons, where you have speedy players and they're going to catch you, much like Vancouver, who have speedy players and they're going to catch you.
Well,
much like Minnesota, who have speedy players and they're going to catch you on the counter.
Define what you mean by tactics. Are you talking like as far as formation goes? Because a couple times GBS has done pretty good as far as pulling players out, putting another player in that could play.
Well, when I'm talking about tactics is when and I mean, even a novice would see that the worst part of this team is the defense. So GBS's tactics of constantly sending out his wingbacks, constantly going up the wings when they can't get back to cover their defensive. To do what the one thing they're supposed to do is defend, and if they can't do that,
I'm not sure GBS believes in defending at all. He's just outscore him.
Which I'm fucking down with. Like that's good value for a ticket. If you're trying to win championships, that's probably not going to work out because every now and again, you're simply not going to outscore them. But yeah, to Ed's point, I think that the issue is adjusting how everyone's lining up and the instructions everyone has in how they're going to carry out their duties. I would like to see Romney and Felcher not leave the center line. They're probably going to. I mean, that's just the truth.
My thing is, are they really that important in the attack that you need them to constantly be going up?
It's just the overload, and it's the attempt to pin back their wingbacks and keep their wingers honest, for lack of a better phrase, so that their wingers and their wingbacks have to stay pinned back because they're getting so much pressure wide. You would be if your wingers are playing up or they're cutting inside, for example, or their wingbacks are playing up or cutting inside, for example, you're leaving either the wing, if it's the wing back that's pushing forward, you're leaving the winger or vice versa to cover Christian Pavone and Sjelvik, and Romney rather, and Polenta because he likes to go up, and Felcher. You're forcing everyone else on their team to stay pinned into their own half. Ooh, ran out of air there. Pinned into their own half to deal with the overwhelming numbers, which works.
And Antuna ain't gonna help you out defensively.
But it works if you have, Todd Donovan when he first came back. It works if you have Sean Franklin when he was, his second year, his third year. We have these fast guys that can get back. That works.
Not only just fast, but competent.
Well, at least knowing when to track back would be helpful.
Yeah, smart. That's
smart is very important.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, and again, I agree with what you're saying. Like that makes sense. Like, you have Pavone who's not going to help out defensively. You have,
nor is he supposed to.
No. What I'm saying is you have these wingers who aren't going to help you defensively. So when you constantly have your outside backs pushing forward, you have acres of space.
Well, it puts
acres of space.
It puts a lot on Jonathan, and it puts a lot on Corona. And if it's Corona, and in this case it might be legit, it's asking a lot of them defensively. It's asking them to cover a lot of ground, as you say. There's a lot of open space, but it's also limiting their ability to go forward and contribute in the attack. If I'm looking at a cross, if I'm looking at a smart pass, I'm expecting it out of Corona, Legette, or Jonathan, not necessarily expecting it out of Dave Romney or Felcher, especially playing a team that's going to that plays the core of their game is the counterattack. I'd rather let Corona and Jonathan and Legette, I'd rather let them go play. And I'd rather say, look, Felcher, this is where you're going to be. Romney, this is where you're going to be. This is where I need to keep you. If anybody's going forward, it's going to be Polenta. He's shown he can track back. He's shown at least the spatial awareness of kind of where everyone is around him. He gets caught out sometimes, just like everybody does. No defender is perfect. Certainly no MLS defender is perfect. But if I'm going to trust any of those guys to push forward and get involved in the attack, it's probably Polenta, especially knowing how Minnesota's more than likely going to attack.
We've seen Polenta do like some little like
he gets into it.
he gets some little FIFA moves, man.
But it's excuse me. Sorry, apologies. What is one of the things that I do find interesting in the whole lot, if they still play the same way, if they still play with the pressing wing backs and trying to get up and cross.
They are though.
But if they do, they shouldn't. But if they do, it tells you a lot about next season. It tells you a whole lot about next season. Those two guys are probably gone because they don't effectively do that. If it doesn't work, those two guys are probably gone because they don't really effectively do that job. They're not balancing the defense and the offensive side. Felcher's not a great crosser. Romney's not exactly the greatest crosser in the world for what you're asking of them to do. He's not terrible. He's still a nice backup option. He covers a lot of space on the back line. He can play left back. He can get involved, and he does seem to have some camaraderie with the team, but he's not giving you necessarily what you would need and what you seem to be depending on that side for. And we are going to dedicate to the system. We're dedicating to a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-2-1. We're dedicating to this overall system with overlapping wingbacks, and that's just the way it's going to be. So if Pipo can't do the defensive job, we're going to have to move him on. If Romney isn't capable of at least keeping up, he might be used as a make weight and maybe in a trade. But if we go away to Minnesota, given how we concluded the season and play the exact same way, that tells you everything you need to know for next year. We are very much sticking to this, and that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, and I think our game plan of going out to the wings and trying to get to Zlatan, it's going to be a lot more difficult against Aikobara, who honestly is probably the best center back in the league. Arguably, I would say, at least.
I don't know. I take Zlati against any center back in the league. Like when he's on, and this legitimately could be his last game for the Galaxy, so it's a safe bet. He's going to be up for it because whether he's coming back or not, like this isn't how you want to go out 2 years in a row. First year not making the playoffs at all. Second year making the playoffs. Oh, you got eliminated by, basically a new team. I can't imagine that's how he's going to go out. You might see some fireworks between Zlatan and Aikopara.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a tasty battle, man.
That could be nice, yeah. I'm into it.
You're turning me, Tucker.
To what?
I'm thinking we could
See,
do it. I'm getting. See, and this is what you do every fucking week too. You'll get me all excited. Oh, the Galaxy can win. They could do this. They could fucking win.
They
and
could.
Then what's gonna happen? They're gonna shit the bed.
Well, look.
And I'm gonna be all depressed. And I'll be like, Ed, I should have listened to you, and just go on with.
I can give it to you. I can give it to you really simple. You would do really, really easy. I can see an easy path, and I'll use the word easy. I could see an easy path to the Western Conference Final.
Yeah.
Easy path, which gives you an easy path to the MLS Cup Final. We never lost a match to Minnesota. Never lost a match to LAFC, who we would likely, well, not even likely, who we would play in the next round. I think we would get Seattle in the Western Conference Final at home. I take that match. I take that match every day of the week. Which then gives us to a situation where...
No, we wouldn't get it home. We'd be on the road.
Yeah.
Against Seattle?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, that'd be a little rougher.
Yeah, I think the only teams that we could play at home would be...
Portland?
Like Portland, Dallas, and Salt Lake.
So if we get Seattle on the road, I don't know.
Actually, no, I think not even Salt Lake. I think Salt Lake would be on the road.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's Seattle, I think it's going to be Seattle out of the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, so do I.
And if it's Seattle away, that's a little harder. Minnesota away is hard given our away record. Seattle loves
like an
playing
RSL
us.
away.
Seattle, I'll take RSL away.
No, well, we finished above Portland and Dallas, so that's
Yeah,
the only
so
teams
those
we
are
These are
can
the only
two
teams we
teams,
can
yeah.
host.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seattle away is hard. Seattle away would be really rough. Home, I'd feel obviously infinitely more confident about.
I mean, we showed we can beat Salt Lake and Salt Lake.
Yeah, it can be done. But that's the thing. Like, I can see.
No,
I can
agree.
see.
Yeah.
I can see beating Minnesota away. I can obviously see beating LAFC up the road.
That's the thing, man. Like, how can you bet against this LA Galaxy team in big moments?
We like any Galaxy team that can regularly beat LAFC. Regularly. Can at least hold pace with this quote-unquote historic team that's smashing all these records.
That's why I fear that they won't get up for it because it is Minnesota. But I think they know the situation where it's like, hey, it's do or die. Like, this is it or you go home.
If you like each other, you need to win. Like, simple. If you all like your unit, you need to keep winning.
If you want to continue your postseason run and get a little more on your bonus checks.
Mm-hmm. Well, if any of the listeners are hockey fans, this happens all the time in hockey, where you have the window closing on a championship team, on a championship caliber team, I should say. And it gets to this point in the playoffs where it's like, they all kind of, it's an unspoken thing, but they all kind of understand they're getting ready to get broken apart. Contracts, salaries are just going to get crazy, and they either can't fit it under the cap. It happened to the Montreal Canadiens a couple years ago. Every game becomes this big celebration because they, as a group, understand the moment this is over, like, this is over, this party is done. So if you're feeling it as a group, and they all seem to really get along, if you're feeling it as a group, you better get your ass out there and fucking you need to make it happen.
I see. That's the thing is, do they feel it? Like, a team looking so disconnected. I don't know if it's like it's a big happy family as you might think it is.
Oh, I don't know that it's necessarily a big happy family. I think they like each other. I think there appears to be a camaraderie in the group. Everything you see from their social media, they all, at least the Spanish speakers, all seem to really get along and enjoy each other's company. There are competitors in this side. Like, Zlatan is a fucking competitor. Polenta looks like a fucking competitor. Jonathan is a fucking competitor. Like, Christian Pavón has played some of the biggest games in the world. In the world. There are people who like to win, and they, as a group, seem to like each other. I'm assuming those two things can get married into, beating a slightly above average MLS competitor. Where maybe if we had Pavón earlier in the season, maybe we finish in second. Because we weren't completed. We were still a project. And we were adding pieces.
It's still a project.
It's still a project. But, for this season, the project is completed now. And once the project got completed, Christian's numbers took off. Zlatan's numbers got fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If we have Christian Pavón a month earlier, we're probably not playing away to Minnesota. Like, that's where the I can see the positivity comes from. But that's where this team is just as good for, we should fucking walk all over Minnesota. And then you look back at the defense and you go, well, I can totally see us getting counterattacked to death. And maybe we score 3 and 3 is just not enough because this is the match we gave up 4, or this is the match we gave up 5.
That's the thing is, like, you can score 3, but if you have that defense behind you, just bleeding goals. Like, you would think 3 goals against Vancouver, plenty.
Should be plenty. Should be plenty.
And like, that's where it's hard for me to really believe in this team.
Any person would be justified, genuinely, truly justified in, as I said, assuming we're going to lose and assuming we're going to win. You're justified in either one. You make whichever prediction you want because you can't be wrong. The window is open. It's just a matter of whether we accomplish it or not. It's not the 2005 season where we're backed in hot. It's not the 2011 season where we were clearly the best team in the league. It's not the 2012 season where we had the caliber, maybe it's closer to 2012. We had the caliber on the field. We were obviously a playoff contender. We just needed to figure our shit out. And then once we figured our shit out, we re-solidified, I guess we're not the 2012. We re-solidified that championship pedigree. And it kind of forced us over the line because we just wore teams out. It's not 2014 where we played a more advanced style than everyone else. And that was what was going to be the thing that kind of propelled us. I love the overarching story of the Galaxy, but that was the thing that kind of propelled us past everyone because not only were we better on the field, not only were we more talented, but tactically we were outplaying everyone. We're just this weird hodgepodge of really upper echelon ability and then like nightmarish defending. Just like some of the worst, most confusing defensive decisions you've seen. There's this weird split between the front half and the back half. So it's like, I get not feeling confident or not feeling, secure. You just hope it's that day where the front half is so good it can make up for the back half.
I'm sorry. Which one of you busted ass in this room right now, man?
It's got to be Ben.
Jesus
be you,
Christ!
I know.
Oh my God!
I'd be proud. I'd tell you.
I thought for sure.
All the
open
fucking
door.
ventilations shut
Are you
off
serious?
and like.
Well, you got a skunk outside. There's really. I don't even smell.
Oh
anything,
my
man.
God! I had to bring it up. My
I know,
God,
dude.
my
Can you smell it?
God.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
I genuinely can't smell it. I swear to God, I tell you if it
Yeah.
was me.
sure he would.
I'm just.
Oh, I just got it.
I'm on a podcast of
It's in my
liars, fornicators,
It was
drug addicts.
100% Ed.
Yeah,
You have to
well,
know that, right?
That because I smelt it and dealt it too.
No, because you were sitting there and you're making a calculated decision of like,
Should
if
I-
I bring this up really quick, nobody's gonna think it was me, and it was 100% you.
Well, it doesn't matter because we were gonna blame him anyways. It's like what's your famous thing, Ed? Like,
Always blame the fat guy, no matter if you did it or not.
There's a lot of blame going around.
yeah,
If you did, whether you did it or not, it's the fat guy who always smells or did the fucking fart.
So what do you think, Benny? You think we got a shot?
Well, let me run a couple scenarios by you,
Please.
Okay, so the final score is 1-0.
Okay.
Are we the winners?
God.
I don't think you shut out the Galaxy in a playoff game.
No. Not in that game.
But can you see us winning one? I mean, like, are the chances more that we would not get shut out, or that
Sorry,
we
did you say the score was 1-0?
Yeah,
Did
the
we
score
win
is
that game?
1-0. Did we win?
Yes.
Then yeah, I guess.
Yeah. If we can keep them to 1, we can keep them to 0.
Okay, so say it's 4-3.
I mean, that's a coin flip. That's really, really hard to say.
If it's 4-3, I
gotta
don't
assume
like
the big
those.
man. Well, I gotta assume the big man. Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Because if it's a night where we're good for 3, it's a good night where we're good for 4. You know. I don't know. I can't make that pick. I'm sorry.
No, so that's the hardest thing
It's
about
too.
this
It's
game.
too close.
Yeah.
It's 41%. It's 41-59 or 49-51. It's so in my mind. It's so razor thin, the margin between, because it's. Correct me if I'm wrong. At least in my sentiment for the whole season over on the team, I don't think Minnesota is going to beat us. I think we might lose, but I don't think Minnesota is going to show up and beat us. If we went away to LAFC, I don't think they're going to show up and beat us. We might lose. We might find a way to lose that game. We might find a way to not do enough to win that game. But I don't think they're not going to beat us. You know, it's not this overwhelming surge where we're just defending and defending and defending and trying to find a side of goal and trying to find a moment for a counterattack. We might lose, sure, but I'm just not sure we're going to get beaten, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
I don't know if that makes sense either.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I'm not sure that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get humiliated. I think is what.
Well, it's like we are our own worst
Yeah,
enemy.
exactly. If we lose, it's not because it's because
It's
we
not
didn't
because of
play
them.
well. Yeah, it will have nothing to do with them.
That's what I
Because
mean.
We didn't play well.
We might lose, but it's not going to be because of them. It's going to be because of us. And if everyone's on the same page, they have the ability to get it done. They have the ability. If everyone's on the same page, they should be expected to get it done. Because they can do it. They can do it. I don't know that they will, and I'm not confident that they will. But I know that they should have it inside them to accomplish that. I don't know. Andrew is saying it makes sense. Well, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna go pee, gentlemen.
I haven't even looked at the live chat.
maybe I should read Big Tony's email.
Big Tony sent us an email?
Well, it was from last week.
I thought we read that last week, didn't we?
Not all of it.
We didn't read the looking forward?
No.
Leave the door open, Tuck. Yeah, see, we've been doing this 2 years, and no smell like this has ever been in the studio.
I was just like sitting here fucking sniffing. And I'm just like, what is that?
Dude, it was you.
It was not
I know
me.
it was you. Don't come on, because I know it wasn't me. I would own it if it was me.
Same here, man.
I don't believe you.
I'm not afraid. I'm not fucking afraid of my farts, dude. Anyways, Ben is killing us. It's like he's like pouring in carbon monoxide in here, and he's trying to kill us all.
Could be better than the game.
Are you trying to do like a murder-suicide pact right now, dude? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I probably should check on the AC.
We said that Ben's trying to poison us with
Yeah, it's like we're seeing
carbon monoxide.
He's definitely blowing acid.
So we
We
said
let fucking fart all the time. That's a fact.
Ben just wants to take us all out at once.
It's fucking Jim Jones us. What's the guy's name, right?
Yeah,
drinking the
drinking
Kool-Aid.
the Kool-Aid, man.
Well, I always mix him up with Jim Jones and the guy who was like bowling. Who I think is also Jim Jones.
Mike Jones.
No. No, bowling, we fly high. That's not Mike Jones. That's
Is it Jim Jones?
I think it's Jim. I think it's also Jim Jones.
Is that the dude who got indicted, or not indicted, but he got ratted out by that Tekashi 690?
Tekashi 6ix9ine. Well, I know he was like, you got to do something about him. I was like, oh man, that is a gentleman I want nothing to do with.
All right,
What
so
are we talking about?
well, I'm gonna read Big Tony's email.
Dipset.
So back last week, on October 7th, Big Tony sent us an email. So we're actually gonna finish that email a week later. Looking forward, with the Galaxy losing the last two games, the G's backed their way into the playoffs in the number 5 position. Sure, we had a shuffled defensive line, but giving up 8 goals in 2 games. So the G's head to Minnesota to face the 4th place team. Excuse me. In their last 5, the Loons have gone win, draw, loss, earning 8 points out of a possible 15. Their offense isn't exactly clicking, as they've only scored 6 goals across those 5 games. But their defense has been solid, only allowing in 4 goals. While the Minnesota games have been rather tame, 2 goals scored per game, the G's have gone nuts in both goal. Jeez, that smell is so bad. It's so bad. It is so bad.
You got to power through it.
The Chiefs have gone nuts in both games for and against, scoring 16 but allowing in 12 across those last 5 games. It's probably coming from outside. Sure, neutral fans must love when the Galaxy play, as they expect nearly 5 goals in the game. But it doesn't fill the average G's fans with great confidence. An interesting tidbit: only the G's and New England enter the playoffs with a negative goal differential, -1 for LA and -7 for New England. Every other team has a positive goal difference.
MLS is awesome.
I know. So when the G's travel to on the 20th, will the defense be able to keep anything out of the net? What is going to happen? Thank you, Big Tony.
Thanks for doing it all season, man. I really fucking appreciate that. That's really awesome
We
of
really
you.
need to have him in here.
Oh, he's always welcome, man. He's like fucking Rob Bruce. You show up whenever you want, Tony. Just let us know.
Yeah, this is as much as Big Tony shows as is ours, man.
Yeah, just let us know, man. You're always fucking welcome. Good dude.
That's the biggest question. I don't question if the Galaxy are going to score goals. We're going to score goals. The question is, will the defense be able to keep them out of the net?
Well, he said Minnesota had how many goals in their last few games?
They got scored on 4 in the last 5.
Okay.
And they only scored 6 goals in those.
In their last 5 games?
Yeah.
Wow. Zlatan has 7 goals in his last 5 games. By himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I think it's going to be close, man. I think it's going to be close. But and I saw it in the live chat. I'm willing to bet Zlatan shows up. I'm willing to roll the dice on that dude. 2020 Lars Player of the Year, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Willing to bet he figures that shit out.
2021, man.
2021. Just
He's
keep
staying
it
2 more
rolling.
years. They'll be talking about how 40-year-old Zlatan, will he retire finally?
He gets my vote.
After he's broken Wanda Lassie scoring record. He's
Wow.
like, maybe I'll retire now.
Now it's time.
Maybe now it's time. Yeah, I think that's, and I'm obviously all the I would say a majority of Galaxy fans know that scoring goals is not going to be an issue. It's just keeping them out of our net. I mean, that's going to be the biggest issue. It's been the biggest issue all year, especially this last half of the season where we finally figured out how to score goals. but not how to keep him
Figuring
out.
it out at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to. I'm not trying to trigger anybody. I don't want anybody to go all crazy. But wouldn't it be awesome if we just had like an Oliver Kahn-esque performance from Bingham, where he's just like 16 crazy, like diving across the net saves, just absolute fucking panther.
I would.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No, I would rather not have him in that position.
Right, but it's more likely that he turns out to be like, Manuel Neuer back when he was good. It's more likely that he's like, sorry, Christian.
He's more like Manuel Neuer now.
Then instead of it's fucked up. We could probably get Manuel Neuer.
No, he's still too big for
You know,
him.
we should have gone for, what was the dude who was at Real Madrid?
Navas.
Keylor Navas. We should have got fucking Keylor Navas. That would have been. We're not going to do it. But like, if you're going to flip a DP spot, we should just be like, fuck it, man. We went out and got like a gigantic name.
No. You still have a shitty ass defense in
Like
front of him.
30. Who gives a fuck, man? Like $30 million a year to Keylor. This is why I'm not in charge. But like $30 million a year to Keylor Navas.
I think there's only been like 2 teams in history who have made a goalkeeper a DP.
Get memo.
Was it Colorado with Tim Howard and then
Philadelphia with Mondragon.
Oh shit! So 3.
Boom.
Because I think the first
Major
one,
League Soccer knowledge.
Wasn't it Kansas?
New York.
Did they win a?
No, New York Red Bulls. They signed some like
I thought Jimmy Nielsen was a DP.
no.
No,
And the
I
year
would
that he
hope
won,
not.
the year they won MLS Cup.
You're talking about they New York hired some like Eastern European.
Yeah, some like real old goalkeeper.
See if I can look that dude up, or somebody in the live chat can look that up for me. That'd be very nice.
Andrew in the chat says he wants Joe Hart for Tim.
I fucking take Joe Hart.
We could probably.
I know he
Joe
gets.
Hart for
Look, I know.
We could
Yeah.
probably get Joe Hart to be like, hey, just come over. Be like,
Does he still play soccer?
was he on like Burnley last?
Hey, look this up. Oh, see, I don't even want to know this because I'm going to look it up and it's going to be like he's at Rochdale. I was like, and I got no real. I have no.
He was on Barry when they got.
Oh, he's still in Burnley. He is not
I
playing for
figure
Burnley.
he's gonna be on Rochdale, and Tuck's gonna know like half the team, half the roster. He's gonna know
Roch-
like the starting 11.
I only learned Rochdale today because Sunderland fired their manager again, way down in League One, and they play teams like Rochdale and fucking Shrewsbury Town.
Don't act like you guys are going to go down to the championship this year.
Hey man, championship still one league above Sunderland. That's all that matters. Oh, you just got to stay. You got to stay one spot above Sunderland if you're going to play in England. At any given time, Newcastle United might get relegated. So as long as we're currently above Sunderland, it's all that matters. I'll worry about all that other shit later. It's one thing at a time. And we are out of the relegation zone right now, so fuck you. We're doing a good job. Everything's fine.
I don't want to talk about it, dude. We're going to talk about relegations.
I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm sure Watford's in the relegation
They
zone.
might be last place.
because
But
they're fucking terrible.
they're really bad. Should we? Let's talk. Let's talk.
You have a
lineups.
Premier League team, Ben?
Yeah, he's Manchester
Man
United.
United. Watford is literally in last place. How the fuck would you open your mouth about this?
Because we are both going down together, baby.
Hey, we're out of the relegation zone with your 3 points. Whack.
That's until you guys.
Negative 16 goal differential. Holy shit.
Well, fucking City put like 7 against him in fucking one game.
Jesus Christ. All right.
In
sorry.
the 2 games they played against Manchester City, they played the FA Cup final, and then this year, Man City scored 15 goals against him
That's
in 2
fucked
games.
up.
2 games, Chris.
That was your fucking Premier League minute for the week. We'll never do this again. Although
All right.
Newcastle did beat Manchester United, so fucking suck it, Ben. 19-year-old
But
scoring
hey,
against
come
him on his debut. It's like
Everybody's beat.
it's like
United
beating
this
up on
year.
the special kid.
I told you in
It
the
is.
hangout, it's like
yeah.
you shouldn't celebrate goals against lower level teams. Ben, do you have
Fuck Tucker's friend.
the odds for this game?
That's one.
Yeah, I do have the odds for this game.
Let's give the odds. Maybe this could be the last odds of the year, Ben.
Yeah, so our odds are brought to you by BetSports LA, betsportsla.com. Enter Riot Squadcast in the promotions box. So
Wait, what happens if you do that?
if they do that, then
Yeah.
we get notified and we'll get some cash.
Holy shit. Well, like, what happens for them? Does it, anything special?
Yeah,
they
they'll get
They get clicks on their
yeah,
website.
they'll get all well.
They need to click
If you go make a deposit, you get and use Riot Squadcast, you'll get double your deposit. Well, you'll get 50% of your deposit added on as a free play.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
Yeah, you gotta mention that. I might
Are you
change some minds.
You can get free monies?
free money.
Who doesn't like free money?
Who does not like free monies?
Ed. Ed does not like free
Ed,
money.
Ed. Turns out Ed loves free money.
Really?
I love free money. What are you
I always
talking
thought
about?
you didn't like free money.
I love free money.
Because I had like all that money I was going to get, but I'm like, Ed doesn't like free money.
You are a liar,
Ish.
and I hate your face.
Yes. So check it. So this is interesting. So the odds are, the money line for Minnesota is a plus 100.
Frank Roast. Frank Roast. Rost?
Frank.
FRNKROST. That's the fucking
That's
New
from-
England
yeah.
guy. Yeah. Or New York guy, whatever.
Anyways, back to the odds, Ben.
So Minnesota's a plus 101 and the Galaxy are a plus 235. Meaning that you can get little more than 2-1 odds on the Galaxy and even odds on Minnesota, which is
So
a
we're
lot
the
closer than I
underdog.
thought it would. We are the underdog, but not by much. But as far as the predicted score goes, predicted score has Minnesota 2, the Galaxy 1. So, actually, the Galaxy less than 1.9, but basically 1. The Minnesota's a little above 2, 2.2, which is a lot bigger of a spread than I thought it would be. So your best over is you can get a minus 130 on 3 or more goals. Your best under is you can get a minus
You should bet that.
122.
Can we do that next year? We're like,
We put a bet.
we should have like a pot. And when I say a pot, like we should spend your money. But we should have like a pot. And then we could pick one of those bets. Because I would definitely take 3 goals or
Actually,
more.
we already got a deal in place for next year too. Actually, play some more.
I get to fucking pick shit
Yeah,
for
we
the.
get to
Oh,
pick
that's
shit.
fucking awesome.
Are we going to donate to charity, or what are we doing?
Fuck charity.
Fuck, dude, if we win, we win.
I am charity. What are you talking about? You know,
Yeah, we got a deal.
you have any idea how expensive my school is?
I do.
$0.
Riot
U.S.
Squad-
government.
I do, yeah.
RiotSquadcast.com/Patreon. Help Tuck out, man.
Come on, Bernie, where you at? Make my fucking college free.
He's going to die in like 2 days.
Hey,
True.
he's got to hang out for at least another year.
He's really not.
He's just got to get in, make my college free, and then he can do whatever he needs to do. That's between him and his God. I don't know what religion he is, and I want him to, do whatever's in accordance with your faith.
I'm pretty sure Bernie Sanders is a believer of the spaghetti monster.
I
think
wanted
he
to
is
say
too.
I thought he was Jewish.
I mean, you would think Sanders Jewish, but
I meant Colonel Sanders. Is a
Colonel
Jewish
Sanders is
thing.
not a Jewish guy, is he?
is he?
No, fuck, what? Oh, no. No, he loves the Jesus. Clearly. Southern, you know what I mean.
Born in Kentucky.
There you go. Here's the thing. I've never heard him speak. I assume that's what he sounds like.
He's probably said the N-word a couple times in his life.
Yeah, he's fucking Jewish, man. Bernie Sanders Jewish as fuck.
Cool.
Yeah. Here's your fucking politics minute. Boom.
We
Free
got
college.
the news, politics,
Premier League. The weather.
The way, yeah,
Got the weather. Whatever you need. We got illegal betting for you.
coming. It's legal.
It's legal, man.
Legal now.
We got weed talk. Whatever you need.
That's legal too
Riot
now.
Squadcast, man. Fucking
Exactly.
share that shit.
RiotSquadcast.com/Patreon.
There you go.
I'm so tired, like all the time. I'm just like delirious at this point. It's lovely.
All right, let's do predicted lineups. What do we see? Bingham obviously starting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's
Wait, so the only injuries are
Alessandrini,
in kitchen.
Kitchen,
Okay.
and I would still assume Corona, right?
I think they've kept it quiet. I mean, I don't know. That boot could be very precautionary.
I hope so. But I mean, if he's at a point where he needs to wear a walking boot, I'm not sure I want him in a competitive away match starting where we would have to burn a substitution if something doesn't
he
work
had
out.
2 weeks to take it easy.
Is he drastically better than Leggett? Than the way Leggett's been playing the last few weeks?
Well, here's the thing: is
But
there that triangle
Yeah.
was Leggett, Jonathan, and Corona.
But when Corona went down, we subbed in Fabio, right?
Yeah. And then you moved Leggett back.
He moved, yeah.
Yeah, because
Jonathan.
when we went on that little 3-game winning streak there before we hit Vancouver, we had that triangle back like we had earlier in the year.
Yeah, but if he's not an option,
If he's not an option, then then you got to play Leggett. Then it's Leggett and you play Fabio.
Yeah, and then you play Fabio in that whole.
And then you just hope for the fucking best, man. Shit.
Yeah. Anyways, let's work back. We'll work up,
Now,
right?
fuck it, you play Junie.
No.
you pipe down there, man. No more from you.
Quiet down. Grown folks is talking.
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
So obviously Bingham in the back. Who do you see as left back? Romney? Do you think they go with a Polenta as a left back?
I can't imagine. I mean, you'd have to play Romney. You have to play Romney. Polenta is your. He needs to be right in the middle. He needs to be right in the middle, calling the shots, running the back line, which had been an issue the last few weeks. Romney wasn't so detrimental. He wasn't great, but he wasn't so detrimental that he should lose his spot. I don't think. He's got to start. He's your best. He's your best.
Can he lose a spot that wasn't his to begin with? According to GBS.
I mean, he looks like he's worked his way back into the team, worked his way back into the starting lineup.
GBS is like, fuck, I guess, man.
I mean, look, he's not great. No one was great against Houston. No one was outstanding against Houston. Defensive issues, you would have to call out Polenta. You would have to call out, Pipo. You would have to call out Felcher. You would have to call out Romney. Unless you're swapping all four of those guys, based on that Houston game, I don't think Romney should be losing his spot. I think continuity is the best option. Maintaining the same lineup, the same formation as best you can, getting everyone on the same page as best you can. For me, it should be Romney.
Yeah, for me, your best back line right now, you want to start Romney on left back, Polenta, Steres, probably Felcher.
I think it's Felcher. I can't imagine switching, and it's a conversation we've had for the last few weeks. I can't imagine switching the guy, your guy at right back, which is clearly Felcher, for an academy rookie.
An 18-year-old.
An 18-year-old rookie going into your first playoff game away for their first playoff game at home in their new stadium. Like that, I don't think that's the way the script kind of goes. It would be for a guy who, for the most part, has played a regular lineup.
Are we sure it's not their first playoff game entirely?
It probably is. They've been awful, but I just can't imagine that that's the way the script gets written, given that for the majority of the season, GBS has tried to play a similar lineup. It's tried to play the same formation, as all things being equal, depending on performances, depending on injuries and national team availability. If everyone's there, for the most part, he's tried to play basically the same formation, basically the same lineup. I don't think you go into this scenario and say, we're going to make a drastic change, especially if for the last few weeks, everyone hasn't looked like they were on the same page. Yeah. I don't think you rectify that by dropping a starter and bringing in
making further changes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, that doesn't seem like the move. And especially if Darwin Quinteto's on and he's likely going to target that right side, likely going to target Araujo. If he ends up smoking that kid, that's on you. Like that is on you, because unless you're certain that Julian Araujo is going to be able to do that job and shut that side down, why are you making that change anyway? It's Felcher's job until it's not, and it's probably, if it doesn't work out this weekend, it's not on Monday. But for right now, it's right back is still Felcher's job. Until
next year when Araujo's full-time first-teamer.
In all honesty, I don't necessarily know that we make him first-team right back next year. I honestly don't think he's...
I see you're a lot less confident in him than I am. I think he is a great defender. I think he'll do well in this league.
I'm more cautious on him, I'd say. I would like to see Felcher replaced with probably something similar with Ashley Cole. I would like to see Felcher replaced with a more experienced, if it's going to be foreign-born, that's fine, but a more experienced
got the spots, man.
Right back. Felcher is the spot. You flip Felcher for his right back replacement, and then you're done. You're getting an international spot on Sjelvik, Felcher, Fabio Alvarez, and Udiel. You're getting 4 INT spots on those guys.
I think we were over by like 4. So
well, when you acquire them permanently. Like no. They don't. What do you mean? They reset at the end of the year? Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, I'll see to that. So who do we purchase from?
Fuck, no, dude, come on, man. You really want me to?
I don't know. You got the international spots down.
Well, I think our good friend, if you want to play the jingle,
Josh?
Yep. I think they mentioned it on the show this week.
Yeah.
I
don't know if they
have
mentioned
no
it on the show,
podcast
but I know
time,
he's
man.
mentioned it before.
I think they mentioned it this week or last week.
Yeah, as always, man, go listen to
Got
Corner
it.
of the Galaxy.
For your
get whatever
facts.
you need. But we're going to get INT spots back, and you get Felcher's spot that you can flip that dude out for, and bring in another older, someone who can do the job and can kind of instruct Julian Araujo and help teach him and bleed him through. I don't want starting right back on Julian Araujo's shoulders next year, and I don't think we've seen enough this season to kind of justify him being the plan for next year.
Fuck it, toss him in the fire, man.
I agree with Ed.
Okay.
So we're wrong, Ed. I agree with you. So we're wrong.
You don't. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong. I disagree
Really?
with you.
When have we been right together?
Well, I disagree with. I've seen enough out of him. I think for me to have seen enough out of him, Felcher should have never got his job back, or it should be a coin toss whether it's Felcher or Araujo, and I don't think it's a coin toss. I think it's clearly Felcher's job.
For me, I think it's more about getting his minutes in.
I agree with you, Tucker. I think it's clearly Felcher's job, but not by much. Not by a lot.
Not by enough.
Yeah.
Not by enough to justify Felcher coming back at his $200,000 or $300,000.
And an international
Had Araujo been playing like the last 3-4 weeks, I'd have been like, okay, I think Felcher's done for the year.
Mm-hmm.
But since Felcher's been the guy,
If
it's hard for me to and like everything you said, like another drastic change in the back line.
If Araujo had been playing for the last few weeks, I would be on board with saying give him the starting spot next year. Like, even though you and not so much as continuing in the starting right back spot, but we don't need to make an alternative plan for right back because nailed on Julian Araujo is the dude. If he had been playing the last few weeks, but he, after playing well, managed to lose his spot back to one of the more questionable players on our back line. Like Romney got left back from Jorgen. Granted, in part that's because Jorgen is so regularly awful, you don't want to ever play him again. But Romney got in, and even for shaky performances, like, he maintained his spot.
You got to feel like it'd be really bad if you're the worst defender on like the worst defensive team.
Imagine being Siani. Like, as bad as
I'm sure he really cried in his fucking McLaren or whatever the hell car that
you figure it out. But I mean, you are
he was really sad in his $300,000 car that he
He's
owned.
French. He's always sad.
But you are the problem. How dare you? Alessandrini is a beautiful man. He's a great soul.
That dude's clearly always happy.
Which means he's sad inside.
He's living his best life, dude.
He's sad inside.
Robin
Williams.
If Araujo was playing, what? It's like he has Tourette syndrome. He's just like, yeah, he's always happy on the inside. Waffles. Sometimes I get sad feelings on my inside and parakeet birds. Like, he just had a stroke in the middle of his sentence. Anywho, if he had been playing regularly, I'd be more okay with him with saying he's the dude going in. But I would like to, for next year, and it doesn't answer the question we're actually talking about. But for next year, for me personally, I'd like to see more experienced player come in at right back who's going to give us, like when Eddie Lewis took over left back, who's going to give us 1, maybe 2 years, maybe a year and a half, and then you can move him on and say, cool, Julian's ready. Give him the job. That's what I'd like to see. But
back to lineups?
Felcher at right back.
So you're right back to us?
Felcher at right back.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Now the more tricky thing is going to be your center midfielder.
I mean, it depends who's
Triangle.
healthy.
That's the thing. Is Corona healthy enough? If Corona's healthy enough, I think you go with that Corona, Leggett, Jonathan midfield.
I think you kind of have to. I mean, that's your biggest successes this year have all come with that midfield.
It's clearly the best trio, and the best. So I think you definitely. And then your typical, you have Pavon out left, Antuna out right, and of course you're starting Pontius up top.
So Zubac at the start.
We bringing back Emma just for this one game.
But you said, oh, that'd be nice. But you spoke on what you would.
Hey, he gets a ring if doesn't he?
Yeah, he had more than 5 games.
Yeah.
But you spoke on.
That's so weird.
You spoke on what you would want to see out of the center midfield. What do you think you're going to see?
That's the thing is we don't get any updates at all with injuries. It's hard to tell you if it's going to be Corona or if it's going to be Fabio.
Well, based on what you do know,
it's probably going to be Fabio then. Because as of right now, what I saw was Corona in a boot. And to me, even if it's precautionary or whatever, are you going to fucking just shoot up his foot with some cortisone and be like,
yes.
Go on.
It definitely seems unlikely that it would be Kitchen.
Yeah.
You know? And the shame about it being Favio, if it's Favio, I think is playing the counterattack style that Minnesota does. You would like to play a little more defensive. You would like to play that Corona, Jonathan, Leggett midfield where, maybe Corona's holding back a little more, Jonathan's even holding back a little more and covering that extra space defensively to kind of shut down that counterattack. You could play Kitchen, but he hasn't played regularly. So, it's similar to the Araujo issue. Excuse me. It's similar to the Araujo issue where you don't want to mix up the formations and the lineups too drastically. But looking at the Houston game, as soon as Corona goes down, Fabio's the first guy up. It would lead you to believe if Corona's not healthy, it's probably going to be him.
I think that we're in trouble if Corona's not healthy. But I disagree with you, Ed. I think that it is Corona. We haven't heard anything more about an injury.
We never do.
Yeah, well, actually, something usually leaks out.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't heard anything.
But I'm not much in the, and it's pretty regularly one of my positions. You never start a guy you may have to take off. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Even in the playoffs?
Even in the playoffs. I would like it. Rumor seems to be around that Alessandrini's making the 18. I wouldn't start him because if it doesn't work out and I have to sub him, tactically that's a burn substitution. And even though GBS doesn't seem to care, or he doesn't seem to place the same amount of weight in substitutions that some of the rest of us do, especially when the games aren't going the way we would like, and just mix something up. Let's do something, even if it's I'm going to do a substitution to slow them down, make them stop for 2 minutes and give my guys a break. He'll keep a sub in his pocket. That's just kind of how he operates. Or we'll do all three in the last 8 or 9 minutes. Sometimes when it's too late, or sometimes we just got a goal and it's refreshing because we're freshening up the team. We're going to lock it down. It just kind of depends on how the games go. I never want to start a guy I might have to take off. I would rather give him 30 minutes at the end of the game or 20 minutes at the end of the game, whatever. I never want to start someone who, Lord forbid, he re-aggravates it, and now I'm down the player for the remainder of the playoffs, likely, and I'm down a substitution for the rest of the game.
But isn't that the case with
Ricardo
everybody?
Clark in 2010 World Cup where he came up in like
twice.
We came up in like 25th minute.
Subbed out in the first half twice by Bob Bradley, because sometimes you just don't learn.
Isn't that the case with anybody? I mean, regardless if they're healthy or not, you could end up with an injury and pulling someone in the first half.
No, but if you're, I see what you mean. But if you're starting Alessandrini and you're starting,
I'm not talking about I'm talking about Corona. As far as Corona goes, like say he's good for 80 minutes.
But who do you see him as?
And GBS knows he's good for only 80. He can't go 90.
Mm-hmm.
But he's good for for 80. Do you start him?
But who do you? He's good for 80.
Yeah.
If I can somehow crystal ball,
or even
he's going to play.
Even say, we'll say 65 to 70.
But if I can somehow magic crystal ball that he can play 65 minutes without re-aggravating an injury, no, 65 is too early for me. He would be the first sub out. He may be playing a great game where I need him for the remainder of that match. I would rather have him as an option that I can bring in late. It's tough because he appears to be the best, but he appears to be the best for that spot right now. If we're talking about Corona, he appears to be the best for that spot right now, and you would want to play your best player for every minute you can. But if you get past Minnesota and he's done for the playoffs, what good is it?
But if you don't get past Minnesota,
what good is it? But that's that gamble, and that's where as a coach you would have to consider what potential long-term damage am I doing to him? Is it going to be a situation where he loses a step? Is it going to be a situation where we now have this constant nagging injury that keeps coming back because it didn't get to heal right the first? That's where for the coaching staff, there's all these other factors they kind of have to put together. It looks like with Alessandrini, they're slow playing, bringing him back, that they're taking care of him for the long term. But that could be a beneficial thing for potentially the remainder of his career, because they're saying, look, realistically, we know we're not going to bring you back, so we're not going to put you in a position where you may not be able to get a job. That could be, hey, we want to have you for next year. We want to make sure you're good later in the playoffs, because he was supposed to be back, in September? We're now in October. I'd love to have that guy back for a Western Conference final and an MLS Cup. But potentially, if he re-aggravates something a little early because you decided to push it a little early, then then it's the whole year is a waste.
Yeah, but I think that's why they had their scrimmage against TJ,
closed door scrimmage, yeah.
and he played and was fine. That wasn't the case like a week before, or 2 weeks before, where he came off and he was having knee
training
pains.
alone, and yeah.
So there's obviously progress. I wouldn't mind seeing him come off and play in like 10 minutes. 15 minutes.
I think we're on the same page.
But if it's not necessary,
I'll leave him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Don't
if
play him.
if you're 3-0 up with 10 minutes left, I see zero reason to bring someone like Alessandrini or Corona off the bench. Kitchen, I'm fine with.
Okay,
you can play him. If it's 10 minutes left, you're 3-0 up. Play Perry Kitchen. It'll be fine.
It'll be Carrasco.
I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
Or it could be the kid.
What kid?
It could be Alvarez.
He's gone, dude. He's gone for the season.
Oh, that's right. He already
gone forever.
Gone forever.
Probably.
Not probably. He's gone forever.
That's probably.
So I, all things being equal, I think it ends up being Jonathan, Sebastian, Fabio for that 3. Pavone and Uriel and Big Zlati up top. See what he can bring home.
All right. Maybe for the last time, let's do a score prediction.
Ed, you finished last in the regular season.
Dead fucking last.
Like, where did Ed finish as far as even the listeners go? Because, like, Tuck, we finished above the listeners.
I finished
I was probably like... Well, I mean, to be fair, though, I played all year, so it's kind of hard to...
So you should have been ahead of all the listeners.
You should have amassed more points.
I should have amassed more points.
Yeah.
You played every week.
Yeah.
That doesn't help you.
I think I could probably pull up the list real quick if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves real quick.
Ask me a question about something, Ben. Anything.
Let me ask you this. How did it feel to finish above all the listeners?
Because
it
look,
feels good.
There is a perception that I have this opinion of myself and my opinion when it comes to the Galaxy. Look, that's because you do shit like this. It makes me look like a dick. No, it was nice. I spend more time thinking about the Galaxy than I ought to, and somehow I managed to stumble ass backwards in the first place, which was lovely.
Stumble is right.
There's something to be said about leading all season, and there's a whole lot more to say about swooping it with 2 weeks left,
second to the last game, yeah,
and crushing your itty bitty little spirit. A hat trick.
You did. You absolutely did.
A hat trick at the end. And you know what? It's the last 3 weeks running before I got that hat trick. I called Zlatan for 2 and Pavone for 1, and it finally fucking happened. And you know what? It happened right on time. So I'd like to thank, number one, I'd like to thank my haters. Gotta thank you, haters. Rise above, and all the other. I'm trying to come up with a quote that a 7 on Twitter would take a picture of herself and then where she, tits showing and everything.
First you'd be first of all glory to God.
Oh, number one, all glory to my maker. We couldn't have done it without you.
Because through him, all things are possible.
All things are possible through my personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
So okay, so
number 2, the haters. Number 3, my baby mother. Number 4, my other baby mother, who's in the Netherlands. Boom. And, number 5, myself. Because 5's my number. 5's the stars on Jonathan's lapel. 5's the trophies in the case. 5's the stars above my crest. So, just want to thank me. And we'll do it again next year. Let's all have a good time with it.
So, I would have.
Where's my applause, Ben?
Yeah. I finished the season with 14 points. I would have tied our good.
You could have done that in 5 games.
Good friend of the show, Jesse Werner, tied him with points. So we were tied for what, 14th. Oh, we both got
tied for 14 with 14 points. Right on, man.
I beat Amy by 1 point.
Oh, that sucks.
I beat Gilbert by 1 point, and he didn't play half of the season. I'm gonna go kill myself. So predictions, predictions. I'm gonna go 1-1 draw. No. I'm gonna say fuck.
Yeah, you should get extra points if you call it like a 1-1 draw
With
the-
PKs?
You call the
And then
winner
who
with
scores
PKs,
the winner?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 3-1 Galaxy.
That is a popular scoreline.
You're pessimistic all show long, and then you pull that out of your ass at the end.
Cause,
What the fuck? You need to explain yourself.
Because fuck you. That's why.
What makes you feel 3-1?
He
I
bowed to the pressure.
No, I feel positive about it. I think the Galaxy can win. Again, it just comes down to the defense. But I think big games. I even said it going into the playoffs. I'm like, if the Galaxy make the playoffs, they're going to be a hard team to beat.
Mm-hmm. No one wants to play the Galaxy. And I genuinely believe that. I don't think anyone wants to play the Galaxy.
You're playing a 2-week rested Galaxy, a Zlatan who's going to be motivated.
Any team that gets us is betting that their center backs are better than my forwards. And I don't think anyone wants to take that bet. I think there's definitely elements of us that are choice, and there's elements of the Galaxy that are attractive, that you would, as a opponent, that you're like, oh, we can do something here, we can do something there. But every team is betting that they've got a way to stop Jonathan, Christian Pavone, Zlatan, Uriel Antuna. I don't think anybody wants us.
Yeah. I think we're like the big titty chick with like no ass. Or like the dude who's like in really good shape but has like a small dick. Like that's the LA Galaxy.
I don't even what?
Because you have stuff that's good and then stuff that's bad.
How about like a fat guy with a hog?
Nah, man. I mean,
Good. Well, that's why I was. What,
it's all good, baby.
it all works. It's the motion anyway, so it doesn't really matter what you do with it, Ed. That's what they say.
That's a Ben lie. Sorry, second drink. Yeah, 3-1 LA Galaxy.
3-1.
It doesn't. Goal scores don't matter. It scored 3-1.
Cushion for the pushing is what about the bigger dudes.
You need to throw some goal scorers out there. Come on.
You gotta do goal scorers.
I'm
Them's the
gonna do
rules.
the Chris Tucker. 2 Zlatan, 1 Pavone.
Boom! It works.
Hey, you gotta go with what works, right?
It works.
Benjamin, what's your score prediction?
I like that scoreline, Ed. 3-1, but I think it's going to go the other way.
Oh, really?
I think we lose.
High treason.
Yep, Zlatan's the only one that scores. And then gets pissed off and doesn't talk to the media after the game.
That's rough. Yeah, 3-1 Minnesota.
Yep. I don't think our defense could stop anybody. I think the fucking Slap and Pickle scores at least 1 on this Galaxy team.
But you were like
We wouldn't.
You were like Captain Clean Sheet and shit.
I was. You know what? I don't know what the fuck happened 2/3 of the way through the season. All of a sudden they couldn't fucking stop anybody. So.
Well, I mean, that was kind of the narrative of the season.
Well, I mean, they played. I mean, what they have? They had 8 clean sheets through the first 2/3 of the way through the season.
Yeah, they fucking absolutely fell apart at the
Yeah,
end.
absolutely. I mean, just the wheels came off, man.
Last clean sheet was what, in August? August
Yeah.
14th against Dallas. Jeez.
And when we had a chance to get a clean sheet, what was it like? Fucking what game was it?
The one before that was July 4th against Toronto.
So we're good for one every month, right?
Yeah, this could be it, man. We could get 2 because we missed the one we missed last month.
Yeah, we're due 2. Yeah, so I think we lose 3-1.
Who's your goal scorer?
Zlatan, of course. And
He's
then,
big
like I said,
Yeah.
yeah. Then I think that the only person who talks to the media after the game is Jonathan.
I love that, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't give a shit. I fucking love Jonathan Dos Santos. I want him to stay here forever. In an ideal world, he would break every record we have, and he would captain us for the next 10 years, and then retire and hopefully get a statue at Legends Plaza, right?
Well, that's after the Galaxy gives Gerard one.
Yeah, that's probably
That's going up next year, I thought.
That's probably happening. But I want him to stay fucking forever, man. I love that. I absolutely love that kid. What a great number 8. And a pantheon. I know, Viennas, it kind of gets tainted a little bit, but a pantheon of really great number 8s over the course of our years. And Jonathan slides right in there. I think he's going to carry it. He's going to carry that number forward for a long time. Kind of how Pete had done prior to Steven Gerrard. But I don't know. I think it's close. I think it ends up really close. I would take a draw if I could. If it was a regular season match, I'd take a draw. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna maintain positivity. I think we lose. No. I think we win 3-2. And I think he gets a hat trick. I'm going to give it to the man. And you know what? If I'm wrong, and he ends up riding off into the sunset after this, he's had a great time. It's been fun.
And the biggest point of this show is that all three of those predictions are totally valid, and any of them could happen.
Any of them, I genuinely think any of them could happen.
So you wouldn't be surprised if any of them happened.
We could ship, for your prediction, we could ship all 3 goals in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Entirely possible. For Ed's prediction, we could score all 3 goals in the first 15 minutes. Entirely possible.
I feel like it's more going to be like the Galaxy are winning 2-1, and it's like the 90 plus 2 minutes, and Minnesota's pushing,
Throwing everything forward.
and then we get like an insurance goal.
See, I'm similar in your idea, in your outlook. I have us carrying 2-2 for a long time. And then he does. I've doubted him enough times, and I've been smacked down almost every single time. He says he's the man. This is your opportunity. This is your chance. And so I'm going to back my captain with his chance. He says he can do it. He says he's the man. He says he can score the goals. He can drag us to whatever. He's the greatest player in history of Major League Soccer. Go make this happen.
That's why it's hard for me to doubt this Galaxy team right now.
Okay, so
As much as I want to.
everyone in
And
the
my
live
heart feels
chat's
like it.
talking about penalties. Who are your 5 penalty takers? And in what order?
In order,
In order.
the 5 for me probably going to, not in order, but Jonathan, Pavone, Zlatan,
Who's on the field?
Leggett.
Do I have everyone? Everyone in the 18?
Everyone in the 18.
I feel like Polenta would take a good penalty kick.
I do too.
I would do. Sorry, you continue.
That's my 5.
What was yours again?
JDS, Pavone, Zlatan, Leggett, and Polenta.
I think it's kind of hard to argue with that. That's pretty good.
I'd probably go Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan Pavone. I don't know, at 3.
I feel comfortable with an Antuna.
No. I don't know why. And that's the other thing. I don't know why, but it seems like the worst idea. I wouldn't mind him at like 6. I wouldn't mind him once we get into, strangely, once we get into the sudden death. Well, once we get to where I kind of got to get him off, I got to move past him. Let him go first. And let's just, hey, get up there, kid, go get it done. But I want my surefire guys.
What's our history on penalties, man? It doesn't feel like it's very
I
good.
don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
There's the obvious
I don't wanna
version
talk about
of
this.
the MLS Cup. But, I mean, like, didn't we?
Well, no. There's 2015.
2015 is when we lost
2015,
again.
losing on penalty. Jarrett scores, and then the next 4 all miss. Before then is 2009.
Yeah.
Before then's 2009. Oh God, fucking! That day's coming up too. I'm gonna be miserable. 10th anniversary of 2009 MLS Cup final. The worst fucking day of my life.
And then what? 2008 Superliga?
Then 2007 Superliga.
Was it 7?
I think it's 2007 Superliga. Yeah, because Klein does the bicycle kick. 2007 Superliga, and we go out on that. Fucking Abel Xavier. Keep a ball on the ground. It's easy. You're a fucking defender taking a penalty. Why? Why on earth? I'm not getting into this. Oh God.
Okay, so you're 5, Tuck.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm mad.
He's angry now.
Abel Xavier goes first. Fucking dickhead. Jonathan Pavone. Polenta. Zlatan. No. Jonathan Pavone. Polenta.
Legit.
Yeah.
then Zlatan's
And then
What
Zlatan
about
is my
Corona,
anchor.
if he's there?
My only concern is, like, what if we get ourselves into a position where Zlatan doesn't get to take a penalty? We'd never live it down. Like, with all things being equal, you have a chance to have Zlatan take a penalty, and he doesn't get that far.
He either goes first or 5th.
Yeah. I imagine. Oh my God! If he went last and missed, I don't want to think about this. I don't want to think about this
Why are you
anymore.
putting that voodoo out there?
I don't want to
Putting
think about
those
this
vibes out
anymore.
there?
Well, I'm just like, if
do you-
imagine that's his last image. That would be awful.
So if it comes to it, do you put a guy like, and you still have that sub, that extra time sub or whatever, you put a guy like Pontius in there?
I trust Pontius.
Oh yeah, I definitely trust Pontius too. I mean, if he's on the field, he's definitely one of my 5.
I feel like Fabio would miss. I don't know why.
I do too.
I don't want to think
You know
about
who I
this.
think?
I can't
I
think
have a
about
weird
this shit.
feeling that would take a good penalty.
I'm going to think about. I'm literally going to think about this for the next 4 days.
Who I think might take a good penalty. It just seems like it would be People.
I don't know.
As a defender, yeah.
I feel like I feel like he would take a good one.
But yeah, you still put him.
But you could definitely see him like,
You can see him putting it over.
oh yeah, or just
Like
fucking it up.
Felcher. If Felcher takes a penalty, it's going over.
Felcher's tucking that shit right in the corner. Felcher's got it.
Thinking of assistant the whole time,
We haven't brought that up in a while.
literally every week.
I feel like Felcher would put it away.
With the sister?
Nah, from the spot. I feel like he'd be able to do it.
All right.
I don't know why. It's a strange confidence. I wonder if there is like an underlining like thought process with why I think some people would make it and some people would miss it.
I feel like Felcher would try a Panenka and would fuck up. Like
That's what I think about Fabio.
Yeah.
I think it would be something cute. He would try to do something cute and he'd fuck it up.
So on the other end, how do you feel? What's your confidence in Bingham in a penalty shootout?
It's a coin toss. I think it's a coin toss.
I think Lampson has shown that he's probably been better as. Wait, did we win PKs in this last whatever inaugural Interliga whatever the fuck cup it was?
Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup.
But again, wasn't that Lamson that played the league?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying,
But
yeah.
didn't Bingham stop one this year?
We could do like the Netherlands.
It was a shitty Panenka in Vancouver, where he had enough time where he dove, could get back up, and to get to the
catch
ball.
it. Yeah, we could do like the Netherlands, man. Fucking what was it? The Euros or the World Cup?
Well, you're
They would
Newcastle boy.
sub on Tim Krul for penalties. Beautiful man. And then they won because he's amazing. And now he's garbage and he plays for Norwich.
All right,
And there was your Premier League minute.
Can we get him?
You wouldn't want him.
not no more.
You wouldn't want him anymore. Over Bingham? Yes, you would want him over Bingham. But for what you would have to pay for him, like,
Tam?
go get Memo. Tam for Memo. No, don't fucking, nobody tweet me that. I'm tired of hearing that shit. It's so fucking stupid. We're not spending money on that guy.
All right, do you guys want to do a quick lightning round?
Sure, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Come on, man. Play the jingle. Play it. Do it. It was at a decent level, too.
Pew, pew, pew. And my mute button wasn't hit.
Pew, 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 pew. All right. Zlatan up for MVP. What chance do you give him? Percentage.
Well, 0. It's
Yeah.
going to go to Vela.
Matt Lampson up for Humanitarian of the Year. He's going against Tim Howard and Luis Robles. All goalkeepers. That's weird.
I think
They're
it's.
saviors.
I think
How do you
goes
not
to
give the cancer survivor fucking Humanitarian of the Year?
because Tim Howard's retiring.
Yeah. They got to get Howard's name on something.
That's so shitty.
I wish Zlatan should be in the conversation for an MVP. He should be more seriously in the conversation.
I think part of what hurts him is LAFC took the biggest shit when Vela wasn't there.
But you put Zlatan on that team. You surround him with those players all season. He's got 50 goals. He's got 60 goals by himself.
Yeah.
Like he's got 30 goals on a what was for a long time a pretty shitty Galaxy team.
Put Vela on
outside
the
of
Galaxy.
Pavone, he is still
It's
a
still
shitty team.
it's still at
Put
least
Vela on the
questionable.
Galaxy. How many goals does he score this year?
12.
I would say
Maybe.
20.
I don't like this hypothetical. Fuck that dude.
All right.
I agree with you. Zlatan should win. It should go to Zlatan, but the league will not let it go to Zlatan because they need LAFC and Vela to fucking win something.
Well, the goal is LAFC having this big banner year.
Yeah.
And that storyline is going to be completed one way or the other.
All right. Galaxy 2 are currently sitting 9th place in the Western Conference with 45 points.
We have not done enough Galaxy 2 this year.
I know. They have one game remaining in order to go to the playoffs. 11th place New Mexico has 43 points. What's likely? They into the playoffs for the
We
first
beat
time in
New
like
Mexico
3
earlier.
years.
I think we beat New Mexico earlier this year.
That was like one of the first victories, wasn't it?
It might have been the opening game.
No, because I thought didn't they start the season slow?
We drew both games with New Mexico. 1-1 at home and 2-2 away, and we got a red card in that match. Adam Saldana.
This Saturday is going to be the last game of the year. It's also going to be Fan Appreciation Night. Go out, hang out,
Oh,
go to the Stubby.
If they're anything like the first time, like the first team, Fan Appreciation Night, it's not going to bode well for them.
Well, the G2 ones, they actually stay around and autograph stuff and hang out with people.
Well, but the Galaxy just have a history of losing on Fan Appreciation Night.
Yeah, that too.
Well, we just win and we're in.
Winning in.
Galaxy are going to make it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because they always win and they're in those situations.
Galaxy 2.
If
fucking
G2 is
getting
anything
through.
like the first team, there's no way they win.
We're sending Janino down. We're sending Pavon down for Galaxy 2. Go out there. He's definitely going to be there. No, don't do that. Yeah, we'll win. It'll be fine.
I mean, even if they draw, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, look, we're going to get in. Don't worry about it.
We should get in.
Zlatan with the #1 selling MLS jersey.
Big dick
Does that
energy is
surprise
what
you?
it's called.
No,
I was surprised. Sorry, what's the question?
I'm just saying facts.
I was surprised Jonathan wasn't on there. He's not on the whole list. I was really surprised at that.
Yeah.
I think the only Galaxy players were Zlatan, Alessandrini, and Leggett. So it's really,
I mean,
Leggett over Jonathan, surprising.
Yeah, I think that's more of a U.S. thing.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I would expect Jonathan to ship more jerseys as, Mexican, like solid Mexican national team player versus Leggett, who's like an iffy U.S. men's national team
do they
player.
count like Huntington Park bootlegs?
The
That's
knockoff
the
market,
thing with
Ed.
knockoffs, man.
That black market. You're right. Swap meet market. I forgot all
So,
about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't count those.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else you guys have to talk about?
Not that I recall. Thanks to Mers, obviously, for
Mers, big up, Mers. Big ups to Big Tony for doing this
year
all
round.
year.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening and
Yeah, thanks to everybody. I mean, win or lose, we'll be back next week. At least Ed and I. Hopefully, Tux is here too.
Yeah, I'm really not sure.
But it'd be nice to have you. We'll wrap the season up and then go into our off-season plans a little bit.
Yeah.
So we will be taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah, because fucking school, man. Schoolwork.
If you're listening to this right now, and you were born on what's the date today? The 18th, right? 16th.
16.
If you're born today, and you're not because you would have to you can't get to this part of the podcast in the next 45 minutes. But if your birthday is the 16th of October, you shared with Alan Gordon and Marcelo Sarvas. That's a great fucking day.
That's a great birthday.
That is an awesome birthday. I opened up my Galaxy calendar because who is it? Jorge Campos was born yesterday, and so I was like, I haven't looked at my Galaxy birthday calendar in a while, and I saw Steve Jolly's birthday was yesterday, of all people, and I looked for the next day. I'm like, fucking Gordo and Sarvas. That's beautiful. I love that those two gentlemen are connected in such a way. I got really sad, actually. I mean, if I can just spitball about something quickly. I got really sad about something the other day. I was stoned. It was like 2 a.m. And
Shocking.
Yeah, very.
Don't judge me. How dare you? It's 2019. Look, everybody's great. Presumably, Benjamin, there are Galaxy fans that were brought to the Galaxy specifically because of Zlatan, right? Like Zlatan, I hear Zlatan's playing for the Galaxy. I'm going to start following the Galaxy, right? But not as bandwagon fans, but as legitimate, diehard, hardcore Galaxy fans. They know Justin Vom Steeg is the backup keeper. They've learned everything they can learn, and they read back previous years and all this stuff, and they're in. They're legitimately in. Season ticket holders, whatever. Go to Galaxy 2 games. They're legitimately in, but they all started because of Zlatan. So they started in the last year and a half. They entirely missed Alan Gordon. They missed Mike McGee. They missed AJ De La Garza. All these people we take for granted. And that's why I genuinely try, every time I see Kevin Hartman at games, I talk to him and I say I watched some highlights from this game you had where you made, these crazy saves, and I get to talk to, and I actually get to conversate with him about these things that are huge moments for me that were just, a game he played 15 years ago that he probably barely gives a shit about. But like, I think we all kind of, to a degree, we take some of these things for granted, these memories for granted. And I guess it is all to surmise and say, if you don't already, follow Galaxy History at Galaxy_history on Twitter. I mean, it's all these beautiful little moments that we all lived through and we all got to experience. And, I'm great for Mike McGee's goalkeeper game, something that if you just started following now, you get to hear about. But a lot of us were there, or a lot of us remember it when it happened. It's Robbie Keane and Mike McGee fucking destroying San Jose in 2012.
That's
right?
what I was going to bring up. Yeah, 2012.
Like, we all got to experience those things. The Fantastic Four backline, Todd Donovan, Omar Gonzalez, AJ De La Garza, Sean Franklin, like 4 guys who we're coming up on 10 years since they were that core of that backline. And we all got to experience and we all got to live through. But MLS is moving and graduating and developing and evolving to this new entity where, no disrespect, because I love my man Sean Franklin, but guys like Sean Franklin are going to start getting less of a chance. Alan Gordon will never happen in Major League Soccer again. Like, I love him, but someone who is that, we'll say swashbuckling, we'll say that we'll call him rugged, that unpolished, someone that unpolished, not really going to pop up in the league, not get to have a career like he did. Play for the national team, play at Azteca,
where he got to be polished,
where he got to
play in the league.
I mean, number 9, Alan Gordon's a beautiful man. I'm grateful for the time we got with the Alan Gordons and the Joe Franchinos and the Steve Jollies. I'm thankful for Bill Gaudette's, and I'm glad we all kind of got to experience
the Dimas. Although
I will never say that Dima was unpolished. He was best defensive midfielder I've ever seen in my life. Please don't hurt me. I'm
Rafa Garcia, man, outstanding. Still an outstanding, just a good human. Yeah.
Not necessarily the best defensive midfielder. Maybe MLS a little above his level, but goddamn, you never see in all my years of the Galaxy, never seen someone try as hard as Rafa Garcia in every single minute he ever had on the field. And that's going away. So I was just, I kind of got a little sad, I will admit. And, school and Damien being what it is, I'm at such an end that like all the emotional walls are down, but I'm grateful that I got to experience, players of that level and guys who were just Mike Randolph, like just awesome dudes who really, really wanted to play soccer and kind of got a shot at it. And we all got to be there for those, their time and their years. And for the people who didn't, hopefully we get to tell you those stories.
Josh Wicks,
fucking psychopath. But we get to tell you, explain some of these memories to you guys and go through them. And I was hoping you throw out one more. I was like, I wonder if I can pull one more out of me. But yeah, that was it. I'm musing that over the last couple of days.
I mean, my favorite is Ugo Ihemelu, man. I loved Ugo, man.
Fucking Ugo.
Ugo was a man.
Fucking Frank Yallop, man.
Yeah. Fuck Frank Yallop. But they missed out on Frank Yallop. They missed out on Alexi Lawless destroying the Galaxy. And then, what's the guy's name? What was the asshole's name? Rude Hulett. Missed out on Kobe Jones as an assistant coach. Like
Kobe Jones is one game in charge.
Kobe Jones, one game in charge, won a trophy.
Yep.
On a Super Classico, but it counts.
On a draw.
It counts. Back when Pete Vianis was beloved for whatever his talent level was. It's just, it's a great club. It's a great club and great history and great memories. And go ahead.
I think we'll go back and look. I think we're going to go back and look at Pete with fondness again, as the further we move from his tenure as a part of the front office.
I'm already revisiting my feelings on Pete Vianis.
Just go back and look at that photo of him showing the Super Classico in front of the Chivas fans.
Pete Vianis,
and you'll be all right again.
Pete Vianis was he was out of his depth as general manager. From what I've heard, he was also an asshole about it, which makes the memory a little more difficult. But if you're a Galaxy fan, as a player, especially one who's not necessarily the most talented in the world, Pete Vianis is kind of what you wanted. because he was a Galaxy man through and through.
A local kid.
He hated all the people you wanted him to hate. He liked all the people you wanted him to like. You know, he got a job he had no business getting. He was hired by someone who had no business hiring him, kept him in longer than he needed to, and tried to big dick swing because, you know, he was in a position he didn't belong in. But
Sounds like some U.S. men's national team people at jobs. But
as a Galaxy player, like you do have to respect to a degree. As a former Galaxy player, he got into the job and was like, "We're the Galaxy. Of course I'm going to throw my dick around. What the fuck? I'm the general manager of the LA Galaxy. Yes, I'm going to throw my dick around in America." He had no business being in that job, and it was too big for him. But, you know, I probably would have made similar mistakes. I wouldn't have signed Siani, but I would have made some other mistakes.
yeah. Anyways, I think it's that time of night. Chris is just ranting. I think the weeds like taking over his brain.
Nah, it's gone. It doesn't work that way. I start the show really stoned and then I taper out.
Benjamin, where can they find you on the socials, man?
You can find me at DT Radio Ben on Tweet Machine. You can email the show @riotsquadcast.com. Please go visit our website, riotsquadcast.com. Check out the Patreon page. Check out the t-shirt page. If you want a hat, email me and we'll work something out.
That sounds so shady.
It does.
It's always too.
He's gonna casting couch you if you want a hat.
Chris, where can they find you?
Just ask the Bruce. You don't want to know what he did for his hat.
Poor Robert. Andrew's got one too.
It's obvious what Andrew did.
At zero.
Not but.
At ZeroCool138 on just about everything. Twitter.
Man. Yeah, I don't have time for you, man. Yeah.
Untapped. Whatever it is.
Untapped. It's tapped. It's where I post photos of white MILFs I've had sex with. It's tapped. All these, the cucking. You know, the kids, they talk about the cuckolds. You know.
Ed, where
Cool.
can they find you at?
They can find me on Twitter, Instagram at thezombie13. You can find the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Riot Squadcast. Make sure you guys are liking our posts. Make sure you're sharing. Share when you see the episodes posted up. That goes a long way to helping us get more earballs on the show. Also, if you guys want to leave voicemails, we play voicemails sometimes. If Ben chooses to want to play them, you can leave them at 562-641-5277. That's 562-641-5277. Make sure you leave your name. Try to keep it under a minute.
Super fast. I want to thank Arizona Ange and Ruben Solis. I tweeted out the other day, I was like, oh, Damien fucked up both my PlayStation controllers. I was like, does anybody have a PlayStation controller for sale that I can buy? Both of them sent me a PlayStation controller. So now me and my boy can play some hockey, and I'm gonna whoop his fucking monkey ass. And it's it's the white one. Don't worry, it's cool. And I'm gonna dedicate those wins to you guys. So thank you very much.
Oh, if anyone wants to send me a copy of FIFA 20, my cat broke my FIFA 20 copy.
Really?
No.
Oh, I was like, you got your brand new iPhone. You're fine.
Just trying to keep.
Money bags.
It's called upgrades, bitch.
Oh God, how much a month?
Like $5 extra.
You pay. That's not even an answer.
We'll hopefully talk to you guys next week.
Nice to see you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck you, Brian. Suck a dick, bitch.